Hello Crafty Cocktail lovers and welcome to my pilot episode of Crafty Cocktail Quest. I'm super excited to get this project started and I would love to hear your feedback about it. For the pilot, I made an Autumn Spice Old-Fashioned, which really got me and my guests in the autumn mood this year, and it was perfect for cozying up as the temperatures outside started dropping, the leaves turned yellow and the fireplaces started crackling again. Importantly, all my guests could enjoy this drink as I made a variant with only a tiny amount of alcohol in it, besides a cocktail with regular bourbon. Now, please sit back, relax, and thanks for joining me on a small adventure with this crafty cocktail quest.
Let the flavors resound. Every sip, the story can be found. From the very first taste to the final cheer, pursue the spark and our journey's clear.
The star of this cozy drink is my homemade autumn spice syrup, crafted to capture the essence of fall with flavors like apple, cinnamon, clove, cardamom, and star anise, all perfectly balanced with the richness of demerara sugar. And of course, nothing should go to waste, so I'll also show you how to transform the leftover apple solids into a powdered garnish, which makes a flavorful and aromatic touch for the rim of the glass. To make the autumn spice syrup, first cut the apple into pieces and remove the seeds from it. Then combine the apple pieces, spices, and about 200 ml of water in a saucepan. Bring it to a simmer and stir occasionally to help the apples and spices release their flavors. After about 20 minutes, remove the apple pieces and press them through a cheesecloth, making sure to get as much juice out of them as possible. Put the solids aside and add the juice back into the pan, and then reduce the liquid until it's about half its original volume. Once it's reduced, add demerara sugar at a 1:1 ratio and stir until it's dissolved. Finally, filter it through a cheesecloth and bottle it up. And there you have it, our autumn spice syrup is ready. This syrup will keep in the fridge for about a month, but I'm sure that you'll be using it up way sooner. Next, we'll make a powdered garnish from those leftover apple solids. First, puree the solids until smooth. Then, spread thinly on a piece of baking paper. Dehydrate it in an oven at 75 degrees Celsius for about 2 hours until completely dry. Remove the dried apple pieces from the baking paper, break up into smaller pieces, and use a mortar to grind it into a fine powder. Once it's been ground, our apple garnish is done, and you can store it in an airtight container at room temperature until you're ready to use it. With the syrup and the garnish prepared, we are now ready for the star of the show, the Autumn Spice Old-Fashioned. I'll show you both versions, a cocktail with bourbon and a low alcoholic version using Rebels 0.0% Malt-Blend. This is my favorite non-alcoholic whiskey alternative, which has wonderful vanilla and oak flavors that pair perfectly with the autumn spice syrup, but of course you can use whichever whiskey alternative that you have available. First, we prepare the glass with our apple powder garnish. To do this, dip the rim of the glass in a bit of the autumn spice syrup. Then, dip and swirl the rim in our powdered apple garnish on a plate. This both adds a nice color that fits the autumn season and also adds flavor and aroma. To make the drinks, first add ice to the glasses. Then put 2 ounces of Rebels Malt-Blend over the ice in one of the glasses and 2 ounces of bourbon in the other. Add half an ounce of autumn spice syrup to the low alcoholic mocktail while using 3/4 of an ounce for the cocktail, as the bourbon is less sweet than the Rebels Malt-Blend. Add 2 dashes of Angostura bitter to both glasses. While this adds a bit of alcohol to the mocktail, it's not enough to raise your alcohol blood levels. Finally, add 2 droplets of 20% saline solution. Stir the drinks using cinnamon sticks, which cools and dilutes while also adding a bit more cinnamon flavor to the drinks. Leave the cinnamon sticks in so that it keeps releasing aromas and flavors. Finally, cut a couple of apple slices and put them on the edge of the glass as a delicious and refreshing addition. And there you have it, the perfect Autumn Spice Old-Fashioned, ready to enjoy. Let's start with the mocktail. The first thing that hits you is the aroma, warm spices like cinnamon and clove, along with a subtle hint of apple from the garnishes. On the first sip, the Rebels Malt brings lovely vanilla and oak notes, and the aromatic bitters add just the right amount of complexity, balancing the sweetness of the spice syrup. The flavors are layered and sophisticated, making this a low alcoholic drink that's every bit as satisfying as its boozy counterpart. Now let's move on to the cocktail. The bourbon immediately adds a rich depth that perfectly complements the syrup's spice sweetness. The texture is velvety and the spices shine through beautifully alongside the whiskey's warmth. Personally, I lean toward the cocktail version. The bourbon really ties everything together for me. But whether you're trying the classic or mocktail version, this drink captures the warm flavors of autumn. Cheers to the season and to the beginning of Crafty Cocktail Quest.
Lift your glass, let the flavors resound. With every sip, the story can be found. From the first taste to the final cheer, we soothe the spark and our journey